Hi everybody, welcome to the relaunch of Paper Wishes Weekly Webisode. My name is Lene Gehrig and my cameraman today is Houston, and we're really excited to come back and share all of our wonderful tips with you. And today we're going to be introducing a Hunkydory card kit, so come play with us. So let's get right to it. Our Hunkydory kit includes this amazing magazine. It's got 68 pages in it of card ideas and inspiration that are just wonderful. I was looking at it all weekend and just fell in love with the projects. And so today we're going to show you the contents of this kit and also show you some cards that are just great to be making for yourself. So let's get through this. Let's see, there's 81 stunning designs in this kit. Look at what all you're getting. It's just amazing. All of this cardstock, which Hunkydory is just really well known for. Also, they've got just a standard lightweight paper that I think these would be really great to use for cards, but also I would even do my Christmas letters on these. And then we've got the cutouts, the die cuts, an embossing folder, which I have a really neat project to show this to you, and then a set of stamps. And let me just show you what these little die cuts look like. They're just so charming. You've got some snowflakes here. Whoops. Wow, these are hard to pick up. Okay, so there's 3 snowflakes, a Merry Christmas, the corner, and also this little swirl. And I cut these out of holographic paper because our bundle that goes with this kit, let me move these over here, and I'll show you what comes with the bundle. You get these 4 holographic papers as well as a sheet of blue border dazzles, okay? And I'll be using these on the projects today. All right, so I'm gonna try to swoop this all together. Look at that, it's so easy. All right, so let's get to the first project. All right, so you'll notice I did some embossing with really fine gold embossing powder at the top on gold cardstock. And this card is from the magazine, and I'll show you what they did originally. Here we go. So here they used the greeting, celebrate with a bang, and they used the snowflake as fireworks. But they added that in, and that stamp didn't come inside the kit, so I just used one from the kit. So instead of using the snowflakes as fireworks, I used them as snowflakes. So I just added more. And I'll remove this. And let me show you how we do this masking technique on the village. So the first thing I did was go ahead and do the embossing on the black cardstock. And then I cut to size, the same size as the black cardstock, white cardstock, and stamped some of the houses right here. And then I stamped them again on some scrap cardstock and cut out 2 of the houses. And what I'm going to do is just lay these on top of these houses. Now, some people like to use Post-it notes so you have a little bit of a sticky on your houses, and that's always a good thing to do too. So I'm going to take my stamp set. And I want to put a house right between these 2 houses, so I'm going to use this one right here. I'm going to take my ink pad, do a little inking. All right, so once I've got my houses aligned here, I'm going to stamp right over those masks. There we go. Make sure I have a good impression. All right, so when you take that off, look, it looks like you've nested another house behind the first 2. So what's great about having masks is I never throw mine away. I keep them with my stamp sets. Here's one I've used several times. It's pretty messed up, but you know what? It still does the trick, and that way you don't have to cut them out again. You just keep a hold of them and use them again and again. So after you've done that same technique all the way across and done the houses behind, then I went ahead and cut around those edges, and then I colored them in with Spectrum Noir gray pens and used several different shades of gray, okay? And I didn't do a really, let's zoom in a little bit if we can, Houston. I didn't do a really careful job at that. I wanted them to look pretty whimsical And so that was just a really quick job of coloring. And then the final house, I cut out the one that I think is the most detailed in the stamp set, and I colored it in more brighter colors, and then I foam taped that, so you see it's got a little dimension. I foam taped that just to the right of center so that when I put on my greeting, I had a little more space. Okay, so let's move on to the next card. Here's another one from the magazine. This one features a Z-fold. Here's my card. Grab it here. There we go. And as you can see, once again, I made a few changes in just stylizing my card. And I want you to feel really free to do that. So here is a Z-fold. When you open it, it goes like that. I think that is just a really fun thing to do. So let me show you how to make a really easy Z-fold. You just take a plain blank card that's already folded, and then you fold the front edge even with the fold on the card. There we go. And some people like to score this, but I'm like, no, that's just such an easy fold. We can just do it without scoring it. There we go. And look at that. It just folds really nicely there. And then I used my silver ripple on this, and it has gold along the edges of the Hunkydory art, but I like to mix my metals. So I used gold and silver, and I also used the die cut corner, and then I just added a few little red dazzles and some ribbon there, and I just thought that made just a really sweet addition that was new. Okay, so let's get on to our next card. There we go. This is also featured in the magazine. In the magazine, this uses a circle cutting die that you might have at home. If you don't have a circle cutting die, you can always just use a circle, like overturned water glass that you might have in your cupboard, and then trace it and cut it out. But this one uses a circle cutting die. And in the magazine, they used acetate, snowflake acetate, but that didn't come in the kit, and I didn't have any of that. So I just left the acetate off, and I think it works really great. And I went ahead and added a bow on mine as well. So that was something new that didn't appear in the magazine. And then we also have this little snow scene card that is from, this one uses the embossing folder. And this is a size A5 card that I made. That's what it called for in the magazine. Let me see if I can find it here. So here you can see in the magazine they used much more of a pastel cardstock. I wanted something a little brighter. And also, instead of using the baker's twine right here, I substituted the blue dazzles, which you do get in your kit. I also changed the greeting up a little bit. No, I did use the same greeting. So we're going to show you how to do this particular technique. As I said, this is an A5 cardstock and card, and if you don't know what A5 is, that is UK sizing. So what I did was, if you're not great with converting centimeters to inches, because I'm not, I went ahead and just Googled that, centimeters to inches, brought up a little calculator, and I was able to get my card cut to just the right size. So for an A5, that's approximately 5.5 inches wide by about 8 1/3 inches wide, long. So let me show you how we did this with the embossing folders. I cut out, or rather embossed, 4 of the exact same pieces of embossing folder. And what we're going to do is, on this card, we're going to do a little bit of inking on them, and then we cut around them and stack them. If you can see that there is some dimension there. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I've got my 4 pieces, so I'm going to take the first piece, and I've got broken china, distress oxide ink, which I just love. Okay, put a little of that blue, and we're just going to vary with just using any kind of applicator that you like. I like using cosmetic sponges. They're really readily available. And I just brush that on the trees and on the snow. You want to get it a little bit on the snow bank. Okay, like that. And I'm only going to need to do just the top portion of this because I've already cut one out. So I took this one, that's my top, the back image. Then I took another one, did the inking on that, cut out around the trees, okay, and then foam taped that directly over the first one. And then I did another one and I cut it out here and I foam taped that and went all the way down to the bottom. And then the houses are just white embossing, and then cut out around those and used foam tape and just glued them among the trees. So this card is really simple to do. It just looks really complex because of all the dimension that it has, but it has so much impact. I would really encourage you to give this technique a try. So that's all I have for you today. Please join us this weekend. We have some special webisodes coming up, so you don't want to miss those. Check them out. And thanks for joining me today. Thanks for being patient for my first time, and I'll see you next time.